What's up, people? Welcome back to another Lost Recollection video. This time I'm gonna go over all the Divine Beast weapons. So yeah, let's go over them real quick. I just finished getting them all, so it took a while. More like 2 to 3 days mostly, but other than that, yeah, finally got them all. And the raids will be next. And so yeah, but in this video I'll be just go over all of them. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, starting off with a one-handed sword. So there isn't a dual-wield version of a Divine Beast weapon, so you won't be able to get it. There's only one-handed. So other than that, you can dual-wield anything. I guess that's the whole purpose, and they're not gonna give us two same swords. So yeah, the sword is pretty decent. I mean, strength, vitality, agility. So that's what you really want for 1H is strength and agility. Maybe dex. Too bad the dex is not on there. Other than that, let's go over the combat skill and the passives. So the passive is on break. Break edge plus, increase +2. It's pretty good. Skill speed increase, plus 15%. That's not really good a combat skill because. But the only problem is you cannot equip an tactical art, so you have to equip it on yourself. So attack plus 1%. This is okay. Well, might as well not putting any there. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but it's just funny. Up next, I got the Rapier. The Rapier looks really good. That's for sure. All these Divine Beast weapons are really, really good. I use them for skins. It's just amazing, and the stats pretty high, for the dex. That's really good because we need it. Crits, always good to have some crits. Strength and agility. These three are the main stats we really need for most of the weapons, but not all of them. And it's really important to have them. And let's move on to the combats and the passive. So on break, it's the same as the one-handed sword. This one is really good. Combat skill, dex plus 3%, combat fidelity plus 15. It is a nice combat skill to have. I mean, it keeps scrolling up because when I press the left on the D-pad, it scrolls up because this is different because you don't press D-pad to get to the combat skill and passives. It's kind of weird. But let's move on to the next one. Next, got the Dagger. The Dagger is pretty decent. Strength, dex, and agility, that's always good for the weapon itself. And yeah, as usual, the same passive and then different combats. HP sap minus 3000, so it's just draining HP little bit by little bit, so it's a good combat skill. Dagger wise, Dagger is pretty OP in this game, so let's move on to the next one. Up next, got the Mace. The Mace is pretty decent too. Strength, vitality, and dex. So these three stats are basically what the Mace really need. Yeah, it's always good to have like high strength and vitality because Mace could use a lot in the sword skills adjustment. So this will hit pretty hard. Although I wish they do have like higher strength. For whatever reason, most of these weapons are really low strength for a 6-star weapon. So next one on break, it's the same. Now let's move on to the combat skill. Cooldown minus 20%, remove status effects. This is a very good buff, especially if you want to cool down faster for your buffs. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next, got the Whip. The Whip has pretty decent strength, super high dex, and same amount of agility as strength. So Whip uses a good amount of everything. It's just that there are some skills with vitality that's actually really good, but nonetheless. Let's go over the passive. Still the same, and still the same. So some of these are the same thing from the previous weapon, so it's not much to go over with. And other than that, yeah, it is a nice looking weapon for sure. So the next one, I got the Katana. The Katana is pretty good. Strength, dex, and agility, especially, and the crit as well. So this is probably one of the best skin that I've seen for a very long time. It is amazing. This Katana, it looks so cool. And yeah, let's go over the passive. It's the same, and then the combat skill, it's the same. So there's not really much to go over it, besides just a cool looking one, and then higher stats for some of them. So let's move on to the next one. Up next, the 2H. The 2H is definitely one of the... That's another one of the coolest, looking weapon for a while, because the design, it's awesome. Especially when you can carry it on your back. A lot of these weapons, you can actually see it in this game. It's really, really good looking. So the strength is really high. The vitality, not so much. Dex-wise, is pretty good. Although I wish the vitality and dex would have flop a little bit. That would have been amazing though, because the strength and vitality is important for 2H. So yeah, let's go over the passive, which is the same. Combat skill, this one is a little bit different. Reflect damage plus 10%, defense level plus 1. So not bad at all. Let's move on to the next one. Up next, I got the spear. The spear seems pretty good. Strength, vitality, and dex. So yeah, it's usually 2 high stats or 2 low stat, 1 high stat. So it's not horrible. Other than that, let's go over the same passive and the same combat skill. For some reason, there are the similar stuff, just a different one on some of the weapons. It's kind of strange, but nonetheless, this is still really cool looking. That's another awesome skin design, but stats wise, I wish it a little bit better. But nonetheless, you can put on better weapons in the future. You can still equip the same skin. Let's move on to the next one. Next, we got the bow. The bow is definitely awesome for sure, and it has really, interesting stats with the strength, dex, and low agility. Although I wish agility and dex would have, exchanged, because that would have been fine. Because we need more strength and agility for bow. But nonetheless, still a pretty good bow. The combat skill and the passives are practically the same from the other weapons, so there's not much to explain. Let's move on to the next one. Up next, the Shield Axe. Shield Axe is pretty decent. Just like an AL, it's actually pretty powerful. Hopefully it does the same in this game, but strength, vitality, and dex. I wish the strength is a little bit higher. It's kind of low for the Shield Axe because it does take a lot of strength, but then again, there's a lot of sword skill that uses vitality and dex, even agility, so it's not bad. Other than that, let's move on to the next one. Up next, the Scythe. Scythe is probably the most exciting weapon in this game, and this weapon actually really good, so it's pretty powerful. So you got a crit, strength, vitality, and agility. That seems kind of low for some reason, those 2 stats, but I wish it was a little bit higher too. For these weapons, they should have gave us a little bit better stats. Then again, it's like Divine Beast weapons in AL isn't that good until you get to the raids, they're better, and etc. Something like that. But these weapons are kind of hard to get for a lot of people right now, so I mean, it would be nice if they increase a little bit some of the stats, etc. So yeah, let's move on to the combat and passive. Same passive. This is a good combat skill. SP regen plus 3%, SP cost minus 25%. So this will be good if you carry that, on your main character and use it. So you should be able to get the buffs back a little. I mean, like, not buff. You should be able to buff a lot, a lot better, and or use sword skill. So just a little bit. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, last but not least, got a melee weapon. So strength, vitality, and dex. Interesting. You see, that's another problem. The stat seems fairly low for some reason. It's just 1 high stat. Although I do wish it's a little bit higher for overall in general. But other than that, cool looking skins, and that's about it. Same passives, same combat. So there isn't much to talk about either. So that's pretty much it for all of the weapons. I mean, majority of them are the same, combats and passives, so not that much differences. But the weapon itself, it's it's honestly not bad. I mean, I use some of them. They're pretty decent. I wouldn't say they're like really 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 OP, but they're really good. Compared to a lot of weapons in this game, besides the raid weapons, and which I will get to, when I'm actually farm it later on. And that's pretty much it for all the weapons, all the Divine Beast weapons. And yeah, other than like just the skins, that's the stats are it's alright. I mean, good enough. 6 kills for one weapon, a lot of work. Not to mention to upgrade it too. Like I've seen some of the upgrade version, it's just the stats boost a little bit. And it's pretty tough. But other than that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it until like next time.